Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, for the latest in boxing and raw boxing opinions. So, I wanted to talk about this little subject that I've seen a few people mention, and that is the fact that I've seen a few people indicate that they believe that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, they're just like faking this beef. You know, when you look at them in the press conferences, or they had a little face-off recently. Everything that they're saying, they don't really mean it. They don't really mean it. It's just a way to sell the fight, a way to promote the fight, and I personally agree with that. I don't think these two guys hate each other at all. For example, this past weekend you had Conor McGregor and Khabib. I think both of those two guys really didn't like each other. Right, in the MMA world, you had that big fight. You could tell that it was a real you could tell they had a real dislike for each other. Right, they didn't like each other. Right, and the way they fought, you saw how viciously Khabib was bashing up Conor McGregor's face. When it comes to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, both of these guys have been cool with each other for several years. I remember about 5 years ago, Deontay Wilder went over to England and they took a picture, and they were chilling. So these guys have known each other for years. What these guys are good at is they're good at trash talking. Right, they're good at trash talking. So what they're doing is they're just building up the fight. Now, I think some people might look at that and think, okay, if they're faking a beef, that means they're going to fake the fight. I don't think that's the case. I think when they fight, I think you're going to see Tyson Fury really try to beat Deontay Wilder. And I think you're going to see Deontay Wilder really try to knock out Tyson Fury. I don't think the fight will be rigged. Some people might, because I've seen some people even indicate that, maybe the fight might be rigged because of the fact that this is a fake beef, right? I don't think that'll be the case. I think Wilder really does want to knock out Tyson Fury, and I think Tyson Fury really does want to defeat Wilder, and he really wants to beat Wilder, and I think he really believes he can beat Wilder because, what I've seen from him, and he's always had this thing where he said that he's felt that Wilder was overrated, that he's felt that his skill set was better than Deontay Wilder, and I think anyone who sees both of them, their styles, I think anyone would agree that Tyson Fury is a better fighter. But again, I think they are friendly. I think in real life they're friendly towards each other. But because Tyson Fury is good at trash talking, and because Deontay Wilder is good at trash talking, they know that controversy sells fights. They know that when you got two guys talking shit during a press conference, that helps sell fights. That's why you ever notice like fighters do that, where they just trash talk the other guy, because that makes boxing fans want to see the fight even more. Right? Floyd Mayweather Jr. was a genius of this. Right? Every time he would fight someone, he was always trash talking them. Right? He would always trash talk his opponents, because Mayweather didn't have the most entertaining style, but he had a mouth. And what he used to do was he would trash talk his opponent to make his opponent's fans want to pay the pay-per-view to watch his opponent beat Mayweather. But this was the genius of Mayweather, right? Is he knew that by talking shit about his opponent, this would irk his opponent's fans, because a lot of Mayweather's opponents were Mexican fighters, and he knew that the Mexican fan base was a huge in boxing. So he would talk shit about his opponent, who happens to be Mexican, and this will piss off a lot of the Mexican boxing fans. And they would pay to watch Mayweather hopefully lose to his opponent, right? Mayweather did this, and that's why he became so wealthy, and that's why he had a lot of good pay-per-view. And he used to get a lot of good pay-per-view buys when he was in his prime fighting and on pay-per-view, right? So these guys aren't idiots. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they know that talking shit sells fights. I mean, look at the things that Tyson Fury was doing leading up to the Wladimir Klitschko fight. Look at what he was doing in the press conferences. He was going to the press. He was showing up in press conferences in a Batman costume, right? He was talking a lot of shit to Klitschko. He wasn't doing nothing. Klitschko was just being himself, very dull, boring. He doesn't really talk, doesn't really have a mouth. just being a very professional type of fighter, while Tyson Fury was the one who was making it entertaining, right? The whole time I was watching the press conference leading up to Wladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury, I was just listening to Tyson Fury. I wasn't even listening to Wladimir Klitschko because he was so boring, you know. He was just very professional, and I'm into more people who are, you know, who talk shit. That's just the kind of boxing fan I am. I am more entertained. I like entertainment. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I'm a big fan of, well, at least when I was younger, I was a big fan of wrestling. That's why I'm a big fan of UFC. You know, I like these type of fights. And when it comes to boxing, I like when fighters are entertaining. I like when they try and build up fights, talk shit. It's just, that's something that I personally like. And that's why the whole time I was looking at that lead up to that fight, I was just focused on Tyson Fury because I thought he was entertaining me the whole time. I was like, what is he going to say next? So both of these guys are they're good at trash talking, right? They're good at building up fights. I could guarantee you, if Tyson Fury or if Deontay Wilder fought Anthony Joshua, I could guarantee you the guy who's going to be the entertainer, the guy who's basically entertaining during the build-up will be Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. It wouldn't be Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua doesn't talk shit. Anthony Joshua is he acts like a professional, right? He just keeps his mouth closed, and you know he bites his tongue a lot. You can tell sometimes he wants to say something, but he stays professional. If he was fighting Tyson Fury would be talking so much crap against Anthony Joshua. He would piss off so many Anthony Joshua fans, and so many Anthony Joshua fans will pay to watch him lose against AJ. Right? Both of these guys are good at building up fights, and they understand this. So I think both of them are just doing what they need to be doing. They're, even if it's a fake beef, because they're, like I said, they're really friends in real life. They're acting, they're talking shit to each other to help build a fight, so that Belfast fans or big Tyson Fury fans want to pay for the pay-per-view, and big Deontay Wilder fans, they want to pay for the pay-per-view. This fight is going to be on pay-per-view. Both of these guys are on pay-per-view stars, so you have to make people want to pay for the pay-per-view. I don't know how much the pay-per-view is, but you have to want the people to pay to watch to see this fight. And especially if you're not a pay-per-view star, you have to do stuff like cause controversy, talk a lot of shit, because that will make people look, especially casual fans, because the casual fans are the ones that pay for it. That will get their attention. So I think they're just doing this to help themselves when it comes to like the pay-per-view sales and stuff. You have to talk trash to build up a fight, and I think this is what these two are doing. Again, I don't think that Tyson Fury will not actually try to win. I think he's actually going to try to win. I think the beef is fake, but I don't think when they fight, I don't think that will be rigged. I think both these guys will really try to win against each other. Because I've never seen Tyson Fury throw a fight, and I've never seen Deontay Wilder throw a fight. And why would they throw a fight? Why would they throw a fight? Because they're friends. There's been many boxer friends who are friends in real life, but then they fight, and they still go after each other like they're trying to kill each other, and a lot of them would either knock out their friend, and this is their friend in real life. So I don't think people should be worried that this is going to be a rigged fight or anything. Anyway, that's all I have to say, guys. Subscribe for the latest in boxing, and if you watch the video from start to finish, as always, much appreciated.